All right, so my name is Hendrix, and I have been, oh, sorry, wrong meetup. I thought it was my other group. No, so my goals, that I wanted to read that first. Just give me 1 second. I should have it ready. So my goal is to grow a successful community, a safe place for everyone, including me, to build their dreams and my dreams. That's it. Nice. Cool. So this talk was supposed to be about, it is supposed to be about how do you increase your audience in your groups? How do you sort of bring more people? How do you help with the food that you bring to your meetups? How do you find venues for your meetups and that sort of thing? And then I was thinking a lot about this, like, what am I going to say? Because I could say it like in one sentence. And then I said, you know, that's not good. So what I tried to do was think about my journey, my experience as an organizer. And while I was doing that, I said, you know, it's not really about having, you know, thousands or hundreds of people at your event. It's not really about having some, you know, big star speaker. It is really about the people that are at your event, the experience they get out of your event. So then I came up with a title of like Simple Design Ideas to kind of have successful event. But the thought is that by going through these steps that we're going to go through, you know, that will yield an increased audience. It will grow your community, and it will help you kind of have empathy and be on their shoes, like Utan mentioned before. So, is anyone familiar with the, or watch a lot of HGTV? Yeah. Yeah, it's a kind of a comfort TV watching, if you will. Are you familiar with the show Love It or List It? Yes, yes. Favorite show? Yes. So for those of you that didn't raise your hand and are not familiar with the show is basically, they go and talk to some homeowners about the current situation in their home. And typically, the two hosts of the show, Hillary and David, did I got that right? Hillary and David. And they help the homeowners either, so Hillary is a home designer. So she kind of decorates or talk to them or what their needs are, what their wants are, and that sort of thing, and build their house to their dream. That's her goal. Now, David, on the other hand, he's a real estate agent, so he just wants to sell a house. So he's like, oh no, forget this house. Let's get you into a bigger house or better house that it matches your need. So that's the show. And this is them. And Hillary is the sort of love it. And my goal today is to make you love your community even more. I'm going to sort of try to be like Hillary, giving you design ideas and goals. By the way, I'm not a designer. I'm not even close. However, we know. I need the link for the code of conduct. So, yes, not even close. However, what I would try to do is kind of take you to some of the stuff that I've seen as I kind of went through my journey. And hopefully there's things there that we could all pick up and make our community better. So first of all, what are community events, right? Like, we all talk about it, like, what are we doing? And these are places, and the way I look at them is that places where people get inspired to take action, right? To kind of share knowledge, to kind of empower themselves with knowledge and empower their career. Maybe they want to move to a new job. In some cases, I've seen people that are not even IT and they just want to get into IT. So they get empowered by coming to these meetups, right? The other thing is just, you know, you could be inspired to build a business, or, you know, it happens. I've seen it happen. right? So that's what, so they're very important. Now, when you talk about community events, you have to think about the things that are, so what am I trying to achieve? What are my goals to do this stuff? And everybody is going to tell you, oh, how many people are your event? It's almost like a badge of honor. Like, did you get 20 people, 100 people? You know, how big is your community? And I even, you know, I think of that way myself sometimes, and I have to kind of stop it, like, no, don't do that, because that's more our own ego, if you will. So yeah, but you want to increase your community, not a specific event. You don't want to have, you know, 1,000 people at an event. Rather, you want to grow your community organically to a certain level where when you put a meetup, automatically 100 people sign up for it. Rather than, I got this superstar speaker and 100 people came in and then that's it, everybody disappeared after that, right? You want to lower your attrition rate. We all suffer from that. You do a meetup and, you know, there's an RSVP with 100 people and then 20 show up, right? That happens everywhere. So hopefully what I'm trying to do here is kind of give you some guidance of things that you could do so we could lower that number, right? And, you know, when you do this, you have to think about the experience of your attendees, the people that come to your event, your speakers, your host, your venue, everybody that is involved in your event. You have to kind of think about their experience as well. So you want to create a better experience for everybody. The other thing you want to do is, you know, find the right venue that matches your community needs, and we're going to talk about that as well. And then you want to make your event memorable, right? So whenever you kind of think about these goals that you want to achieve, and you start thinking about how do I kind of get there, you always have to start with your attendees' experience. And that goes from, you know, how they find you, how do they go to your website, how do they register for the event, how do you communicate with them before the event and after the event, what was their experience like when they got there, how did they commute, or was it easy to get there or not, that sort of thing. So one of the things that I will give you here is that when you put your event on Meetup, it's very easy to kind of copy and paste some description and put it up there and put some pictures that looks nice. Be conscious of that, because on Meetup, what happened is on the app, that, you know, the whole description that you put in, only the first 5 lines people get to read and see. And the picture is very important. The picture that you have for your community on Meetup is also very important. Because if you have some pictures, for example, I've seen communities where they have a picture of, you know, like a few guys in a coffee shop or something. And the people look at that and they're like, I'm not sure that, you know, that's what I want to be part of that. You know, so be conscious of that picture that you put in, because that's what you're putting out there. And whenever you at an event, make sure that what goes on top is what you want people to know immediately about the event. Don't put it at the bottom. Don't say like, oh, you know, this is going to be a great event. We're going to have free food, and then we're going to have this. And then, by the way, you know, and then like the thing that gets people excited, you just put it all the way at the bottom. So just be conscious of those things. So I'm going to give you my story so you know like where this is coming from, right? I've been going to Meetup. I'm not going to age myself. I'm not going to give you my age. So. But close to 20 years, I think. And before Meetup existed, before there was such a thing as GDG, I used to go to a lot of Microsoft events. And it was a lot of ASP. I was part of the ASP expert group. And it was basically forums that you kind of join and you have that experience. And to me, those meetings were very valuable because I learned a lot. I was able to take stuff that from those meetup and kind of do it on my job. I'm one of those people that are visual, So it was very important for me to go to a meetup, see somebody doing some new technology, and I'm like, wait a minute, I could do that just like that guy. And I would go to work and I just like do it. And if I got stuck, I would go to the forum or to the next meetup and kind of pull them out and say, hey, I saw the thing that you did, but I got an error. How do you fix that? And so I always felt indebted to that journey because I'm like, I have to give it back somehow. So I started going to meetups in New York for other technology because I changed job and I moved away from Microsoft technology. And so I always wanted to get involved. And I asked the organizer for GDG Hudson Valley, and hey, can I join you? And she was looking for help. So I said, and he was already a flourishing group. Like I was not adding any value, if at all. It was already working. It's true. It was running. But I learned a lot from that experience. I learned that it was upstate New York, about an hour and a half north. The group there, the community there, was totally different from the community from the city. Community from the city was people like running out of their job to go to a meetup. The community up there was mostly all IBMers like myself trying to kind of rebuild their career. I mean, I was still at IBM, I think, at that point. But so it was all these group of older people trying to kind of re-engage or recreate a new career forward. So I learned a ton there. I took the opportunity when I learned about GDG. I met Martin. I'm not sure if you guys know who Martin was. It was Kyle previously. But anyway, I founded my own GDG with Eva Sofiano here, GDG Bronze. And that was a totally different experience because we started with zero. And we started with the same mentality as everybody else. We got to get 1,000 people here. We got to be big. We're in the city and all this stuff. And I remember like the early days when there were like 5 members. It was us 2 and 3 more people. I don't know why they were members. But during those early days, we instead of trying to think about numbers, what we decided to do was let's go to other meetups in the Bronx to see what they're doing, to see what the people that want to go to meetup, what they're looking for. So what we did was we went to another meetup and we met a bunch of people there. And then we went to another meetup, we met a bunch of people there. But everywhere we went, we tell them, hey, we're doing this thing, and by the way, we have an event coming up. And organically, that sort of started growing to the point that today is what, 2,700 plus? Yes. So but it grew very sort of naturally, organically. It's student-based, so different community from upstate New York, different community from New York City. Then I moved to Florida, and there I joined a community that was a little dormant. They were not having frequent meetups and that sort of thing. I was new to the area. I wanted to get involved. So I decided to just go into meetups, any meetups. So I would go to PHP, IoT, React Native. I just started going to meetups to meet people and see what they were doing and that sort of thing. And then I reached out to Martin and I said, hey, I want to get involved here. I want to build a community. I'd like to, you think it's possible that we do an event? And there was no campaign running. It's possible that we run a campaign to kind of invite other meetups to come, and we have some year-end celebration. And that's how I call it, a year-end celebration. And I was making the same mistake of thinking of numbers. I'm like, oh, this is going to be like, 300 people are going to come here. This is going to be great. It's going to be at the end of the year and all this thing. I'm going to get this nice swag and all that stuff. We have 40 people show up. But it was great. It was great because I knew them by name. To this day, like we know our community by name. So it's not New York. It's not upstate New York. It's not the Bronx. It's not New York City. It's just Central Florida, Orlando. And you got to know your community. So I learned that through all that process, I always looked for the experience. I always met people. I always talked to them. So a lot of this is going to be that. I hope I don't run out of time because I talked a lot. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to try to fill those seats. I'm going to go quickly here. So anyway, so this is what a successful event means to me. I'm sorry that it might be small, but a successful event to me is not, 300 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, these superstar Googlers that came to talk to your town. That's not a successful event to me. The successful event to me is that people remember it. They met other people doing this stuff they like. They make connections that are going to help them in their career, in their life. It doesn't matter if the speaker was one of them from the crowd. It doesn't matter if there was no speaker. What matters is that happened. It's memorable. They made the right connection. Everybody learned something. And that's how communities thrive. So that's a successful event to me. So thinking about the attendees' experience. What you want to do is know them. Talk to people. Again, I started on all these adventures that I mentioned by going there, shaking hands, giving my name, saying what I'm trying to do. Make sure they understand your mission. Make sure you understand what they want. Make sure you understand why they are at the event you met them. Don't try to meet them at your own event. Meet them somewhere else. And notice the other thing that I do often, and my co-organizer here will attest to that, is that whenever I communicate with my community, including this one, I use we, I use us, I use our. And the reason for that is because I'm making you part of it when I do that. I don't say, I am doing this event. I say, we are doing this event. When I ask them about, the stuff that they want to see, I said, what do you think our next event should be? Rather than, oh, this great Googler is coming from, Android. I think he's going to come and talk to our in the event. And that may not interest them. They will care less. You know what I mean? But so make them part of it. Use the power of we. Whenever I think of this, I think about these three things. Their needs, which is usually as humans, we want to feel safe. So make sure you always put your code of conduct, like right at the beginning. Just make sure that everybody understands that this is a safe place. And make sure that, you cover whatever their needs are, your community. It might be different from mine. Might be different from, GDG Bronx. It might be different from any other community, but your community. That's why you got to talk to them to understand that. Their wants, what kind of technology they want to learn about, what type of food they like. Some communities, they're okay drinking beers, and that's all they do, right? Some communities are okay with not drinking anything and just having a sandwich or something. So whatever your community wants in terms of food, that's what you want to give them. And make sure they feel the love of the community, that they're part of something, that it's not, they only see you as the face of it. No, it's we all in this thing together, right? So this is another kind of three things that I think are important. Because at the end, we want to grow our community, and the only way we grow our community is to, increase attendance. I'm not going to lie, the numbers matter. But the numbers, to me, that doesn't matter is, I had 1,000 people at my event. What matters to me is my community is growing at 20 people a month or 30 people a month. And you could go to Meetup and then see that trend. That's what matters to me. When I went to Central Florida, one of the things that it bothered me for a year, I want to be honest with you, because this GDG is like centrally located in Orlando, the biggest city in that area. And then there's Tampa, and then there's Space Coast. And they were bigger community than ours. And I'm like, that should not be the case. Well, today we're bigger now than both of them. So I'm pretty soon we'll be bigger than both of them combined. Yeah. Well, Prentice is not here, so he's not gonna.
Pretend this is Steve.
Yeah, well, Steve is not here either. So. But anyway, so communication again matters, attendance matters, but growing your community matters, and the type of food you kind of, what do you do with it? So we're going to talk about those things. So getting people to show up. One way to get people to show up is, well, ask them, like, hey, I'm not sure about, what our next event should be about. What do you think? See, I'm going too fast. All right, so make sure it's something that interests them, right? Make sure that they have a reason to come up, to come to your event. And this low-end attrition thing, it will just happen organically. You're not going to stop it. There's going to be cases where it happens to every one of us, where you're going to have an event and that only 2 people show up and there was an RSVP of like 40 or 50. That will happen. Instead of thinking about those numbers, think about what went wrong there. Maybe maybe you selected a day where there was something else going on around and people couldn't get to you. Maybe the venue that you were hosting, people don't like that venue for whatever reason. Maybe you're a speaker, the people didn't like that speaker or whatever, or the technology or whatever. The other things that is important is the importance of tracking attendance. And Kyle, he's putting this number here to make me more nervous anyway. But he will ask you to kind of fill the survey, give the number, and that sort of thing. And to me, the way I look at it is, it's not him trying to kind of impose anything on our meetup. It is more that if we cannot track it, we cannot manage it, yet grow it. So the only way we could do it is by knowing what's going on. So if we could track it, then we could manage it, we could grow it, we could make it better. And the same thing happens on Google's end. If they cannot track it, they won't be able to do it the same. So same thing for us as organizers. Food. This is one thing that I always do with food. I make sure that whenever we have leftovers, I let somebody from the community take it. I never take, there's beers, water, soda, whatever. Javier, we know Javi. Javi, take it. Vincent, take it. James, all the people now from our community, you got to take it. I can't bring that home. And buy non-perishable stuff. Finding your venue. The best way to find your venue, make sure it's convenient, it's accessible, and it is safe. Those are the 3 key things for your venue. If you follow these steps, I guarantee you're going to find a venue. Just attend an event, find a host, say how great their place looks like, and tell them, listen to what they do at that place. Just ask them, hey guys, what is this business, or what are you guys doing here? Listen, that's important. And then you tell them your mission, what do you want to do? And share contacts. Because in the end, you're going to send a message, hey, I might take you on that. And they will offer, I guarantee you. That's how I found every venue that I needed ever. And I have a nice place to look like this. And this is a call to action. When we get back, this is what I'm going to ask for all of us to do. Take one of your members out. Say, hey, let's go for coffee. Just talk. It doesn't have to be about meetup. It doesn't have to be GDG. Just have a coffee and just tell them, hey, I'm not sure what our next event should be. What do you think we should do? Should we get this speaker? Should we get that speaker? Make them feel part of it. Make them feel empowered. Make them design the next event the way they want to experience it. That's what you want to do. I'm going to leave you with that quote from Hillary, because it's true. You want to, create a great space for your members. And that's it for me. Thank you very much.